Mm-hmm. Yes, yesterday I was quite disconcerted. Quite irritated, annoyed. How do we say it? Why did it not play? It must have played. Okay, it played yesterday. Yeah, I watched it. Duh. Anyways, so I was really upset about the Godskin duo. Somebody help me out with a Godskin duo. I actually went in and did the God Radagon by myself, and my Mimic. I think. Yeah, I think. I did Radagon by myself and my Mimic. Michaela, well, yo, everybody needs a little help on Michaela. Yeah, you kind of, let's put it this way. To get this armor, if you are Superman, you need help with Milena, alright? It's just, you literally have to be able to dodge everything she does, whack her, and then dodge everything she does, whack her, and then dodge everything she does. So you either need help, friends, or a good Mimic. That's pretty much it. Same thing with this guy down here, man. Actually, we pulled this off, and one guy did help me, and it was great. We actually went through it the first time. We killed this guy, and then went right to him. And then finished him off. It was good. It was a good round. It was a one run, and it was great. I do thank everybody who helped me. I'm not out there to, just say, hey, I'm the best player ever. No. Thank you very much for helping me. If you help me, I appreciate it. What are you looking at? Daddy's going to stream. Stop looking at Daddy. He's like staring right at me. What do you want? You want to sit with Daddy? Alright, you sit with Dad while Dad plays. Okay, so we restarted. We're on game 2. And I'm rounding out the aces here. I'm going to see Yuri. Yeah, let's go see Yuri real quick. Then we're going to go kill the dude out in the castle out back. That's it. We're going to go see Yuri first, though. So Yuri can bitch at us about trying to beat dragons. Hi, babies. You going to kiss your daddies? Oh, Daddy loves you. What's the matter, babies? You okay? You go goodies. What's the matter, boys? See, a lot of people kill him for the Nabakiba, and because you don't get his outfit until later, anyways. I think you can kill him for the Nabakiba and the outfit if you kill him. But the thing is really you don't need to. If you're going to go samurai, your samurai gear will actually keep you good. Even on your second playthrough, your samurai gear will keep you good. But by then, you probably already got the blood of ashes and all that. Okay, he's going to tell me not to go that way because of the dragon. We're not. Because we're going to go kill the bloodhound, then we're going to go to the castle at the end. So far, so good. I haven't died at all yet. And I've killed, a couple catacombs. Big guy in the beginning, right next to the church. Yeah, a couple of that. So we'll see what we do. I'm getting the hang of this thing. And having spells helps. Because you can do stuff like this. And dink. Eat that. That's for just shooting at me. It's not too bad. So far, it's looking pretty good. And this armor, I have finally figured out what this armor is good for. Minus the shawl or whatever I have on, the bathrobe. This is for mages. This armor is probably for mages. It's flexible. It takes a good hit. You can cast spells with it. I do believe it helps you in some aspects. I think it's your robustness against magic. Or some other things. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm going to kill this guy, and then we're going to go to the castle. We're just going to get it out of the way. Because I already went and talked... Oh, I already went and talked to Gooba, so we're good. See, he's right here. Yo, Gooba! What's up? Wait, what's going down, man? We are the friends of Ronnie. We'll wait until he comes up. We're going to pop a magic potion here. I need some more cuber. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get out of the way, dude, because I gotta freaking hit him with this. Boo! You fucker! Hey, that spell does work. That spell does work. Did you see it? It worked pretty good. Oh my me, I've never used it. I think it's the wind up such a bitch. Like you saw, as soon as I started winding up, he whacked me. It's like, yeah. He's like, no, man. He's like, I don't care. You're not using that area yet. Thank you. I needed that. I don't know what for, but we need it. Good job. Oh, I feel bad for that priest. Alright, we'll see you then. What about Ichi? Hey, what about Ichi? He didn't tell me to go see Ichi. You didn't tell me to go see Ichi, buddy. We're going to have an issue with that later. Alright. So we're off. We used one whole potion and killed the bloodhound. Check that out. No, I don't care for that spell, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people like it, but I don't know. It's usually the wind-up, because you usually get that wind-up and you're freaking done. They kick your ass before you even get it off. It takes so long to wind up, you literally got to have them entertained. Basically, you got to wait until your mimic kicks in to get them. Or whatever the hell you summoned. We're going to come over here and we'll go off to the right. And then we're going to go, whoop, right over. Oh, he got me with the arrow. You bitch, you're going to get that. You're going to wish you hadn't done it, buddy. Because I'm going to come over here. And we're going to pop Mr. Mimic. Oh, what are you looking at? Oh, you think so? What the hell? What the hell? What the... Oh, God damn it, man. Dude, I'm going to have to go all the way back there. Oh, I'm going to die laughing. That was funny. So, when you play this game, you can literally get killed by a knight in the middle of nowhere. Yep. You can literally get killed by a weenie anywhere. Oh, shit. That was too funny. Dude, that was just funny as hell. I'm going to have to remember that. No matter how powerful you are, you can die by night. He's like, get him, buddy! Get him! Get him! Get him! Oh, what? You taking a break? Who said? Who said, buddy? This is payback, man. Okay, so I knew I shouldn't have said it. You know, you always say that when you, oh, I haven't died yet, and then next thing you know, whack, you're done. See, I knew I shouldn't have said it. Too funny. Too funny. That's damn hilarious. That's too funny. A lot of you folks are samurais and all your builds. I have something to say. I have something to say for the gaming community. Okay? And I'm going to say it right now. One, right? As we start this for the gaming community. One, there's this new game coming out called Stellar Blade. And when Hogwarts came out, everybody was pissed off because of the tranny condition, right? Okay. Now, there's a character in Stellar Blade who's Asian, has a fine rear compartment. Actually, a fine ass, and I will say it because I got 18 or plus.
Hello. Might open my name is the servant's day, but I swear my good father decided himself.
She wears a bodysuit.
The servants have since come for I fear it's no lease. Would you mind taking my soul, please?
Alright.
Thank you. Then please. Deliver.
Alright, now I think you need to do arena, because if you don't do arena, what usually happens is you can't start off the finger thing. Okay, I don't do the finger thing anymore because last time I did it, I didn't like it. But then again, it was a lot of work. It's also got a long jump, and I hate that jump. That jump is like not very well with me. It's not good at all. It just hates me. It's in the sewers of Lawndale. And it takes you forever to get to the bottom and get a shield while you're going to the bottom. You will die multiple times. Anyway, so moving on. As I was saying, they're complaining about the body form because it is a real Japanese woman who's basically modeling her body, okay, on the video game. Now, one, who gives a rat's ass? The woman has to make some money some way, right? There's your first, blah, 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 garbage, whatever. Okay? Anybody who models a character in a game, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever think there's anything wrong with it. And if you can't be happy that your body doesn't look like hers, then suck it the fuck up. Okay? Secondly, right? Lately, everybody's trying to define what a woman is to us. Okay? Us men, because we are dumb, apparently. And the universe and the whole. Okay? And I'm going to say this just once in my whole time, whether you all, woke people like it or not. Okay? If Lord, if, okay, you're a man that dresses like a woman, okay, then more power to you, right? If you are a woman that dresses like a man, more power to you, okay? If, and here it comes, are you ready for this? And I might get banned from the channel, and if I do lose this video today, then more power to you, okay? If you go get surgery, have your boobs lopped off, get a winky put on, or a penis, right? And I will say the original words, that way there's no misguffins about how I'm saying it, right? Right? Or you're a tranny, or whatever you are. If a straight male doesn't like you, suck it the fuck up. Okay? And I'm going to say this once in your whole fucking life, so you better read it and read it well. Alright? I'm not a bigot. I fought for my country. I protected other countries and their beliefs and everything that goes with it. Okay? But here's the thing. When you decide to change your appearance and do everything else to make yourself feel better, doesn't mean everybody else is going to feel better about it. Okay? Doesn't mean they're going to accept you. Okay? And this goes with the color of your skin, what country you're from, and everything. Okay? Because I've been to a lot of countries in my life, and trust me, we are probably the freest to allow you to do that and then kiss your ass because you did do it. Alright? Because in other countries they don't. Alright? Secondly, what the hell does it matter what kind of character's in a video game as long as it sells? Because that's the whole purpose. And I don't want to hear, well, this country is industrialized because blah, 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 blah. If, and I'm going to say this, so get prepared, okay? In all my life, I've never seen transition be the most important thing in the world, okay? And now that it is, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got to be it so they can be cool like everybody else that's transitioned, okay? When you wake up some morning in the rest of your life and realize you didn't have to be like everybody else to be cool, or to be you, or to, how do I say this? Be important, or the center of attention, because a lot of that is what this is. And yes, you can scream and yell all you want, but it is. It's what it is. You want to be the center of attention because you're not the center of attention. And that's all it is. The Reddit post, all that crap that you guys do, all that crap that straight people do just to communicate that they hate it, same thing, okay? And what this boils down to is whatever Stellar Blade is, and whatever the character is, and God bless America, any way you look at it, if that woman modeled for that character and she's going to make money off it, good for her. Good for her, because it's not like you're not trying to make money off you being a trans activist, because definitely 2 weeks ago or 6 years ago, you weren't even known, and now you're an activist that's on frickin' Oprah. You know what I mean? Please. The world changes, history changes, and fads will come and go. So remember that. And no, I don't, you can point out that I said transition's a fad, or this is a fad, but to be honest, it's not. It's your way of life. But the thing is everybody else don't have to accept it. They don't have to like it. Because if it's the way you want to be, it's the way you should be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I want to be an old man that sits at home, plays his video games, enjoys his life, and does what he wants. And if that means looking at boobs or females because I like just females, then that's what I'm going to do. You understand? That means if I want to play Stellar Blade and I want to look at the character, then that's what I'm going to do. I don't even know if I like the game, but the thing is you know what? The more you bitch about it, the more people are going to buy it just because you bitch about it. So here's the deal. If you don't want to buy it because it objectifies women, then don't bitch about it. Let it go. You'll see how many buy it and you see how many don't. Because if you objectify it, you make a big stink about it, everybody's going to buy it just because you made a stink about it. Didn't you learn this from Hogwarts? Because I think you did, because everybody bought it. So guess what? If you enjoy being who you are, then be who you are. But stop trying to make everybody else be who you are. Yeah, that might help. Seriously. You might get liked a little more. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. This is going to get worse the more time goes on. One way or another. That's if the world don't end when somebody takes over office. Because if that other person takes over office, you ain't going to have no woke division or nothing. You're going to get stamped out like a freaking white on rice. Because that's what they want to do. And if you want to stand up for your rights, the best way to do that is to get ready for the war, get ready for what's coming. But the thing is, you have a right to be who you are. You have a right to wear female clothes. You have a right to be a trans if you want to be. You have a right to be a female. You have a right to be a male. You have a right to be a gay male and a gay female. But here's the thing. Nobody is better than the other. And that's simple. You don't want to be objectified, you don't want to be picked on, then here's the thing. Stop trying to make everybody, right, give you homage every time you take a step out in the real world. That might help. Secondly, they might like you more if you're not in their face. 2, and last but not least, right, transgenocide? What the fuck is it? Oh, and the he, they. Yeah, if there ain't 2 people standing there, there ain't no they. That's right. I hate to say it. But stop trying to live in a dimension where there's no world. You know what I mean? Or making up Alice in Wonderland, and maybe people will understand you a little better. Be honest about it. I want to be a trans because I want the best of both worlds. Yay. Good for you. Congrats. You know what I mean? But here's the thing you're missing. I don't want to be you. Don't care to be. I don't want no part of it. Right? Because I'll tell you why. I'm too fucking old for a surgery that would be stupid like that. Secondly, I don't even know if I want to make it the rest of my life, let alone anything else. Because we grow up with a thing called all kinds of stuff. Mental problems, dementia, asthma, oh, let's see, cancer, a few other things to that effect. You know what I mean? And when you get to be my age, nobody's going to give a shit as long as you're not dying. You get me? It was not more than 2 years ago. That's what everybody was worried about, as if COVID was going to kill us all. And you know what? That's when you all sat home and said, well, I need to be different, and I need to be special and better than everybody else. Because you were stuck in cabin fever. They call it an illness for a reason. Because it makes you go loopy. When you're stuck in a house all by yourself too long. Yep. Hate to tell you, that's where it comes from. And to be honest, I don't care if you want to be trans. If you want to be, that's all up to you. You know, I love my kid, okay, because I'm a guy and it's my kid and I'm his father. Do you understand? And let me explain this to you. I love him. Whatever he chooses makes me happy, as long as he's happy. I'm sure it does the same with you and your parents. And if it doesn't, they need to wake up, because part of being a parent is living with the individual you raised. And that is the truth. You're an individual just like everybody else. But the thing you got to understand is you're not the only individual. You are not the only human being on this earth. And you never will be. Okay, give a read of the letter. Alright, he's going to give you the sacrificial twig. So you kind of get what I'm saying. If you don't like to play Stellar Blade because it's objectifying women, then don't play the damn thing. And I'll tell you another thing. They are going to do anything within their power to make enough money to keep their company running. So you remember that when you objectify anything. And you remember another thing, that the more you objectify it, the more the people that don't like your way of thinking will buy that game. And they will make it the best game of the year. Just to piss you off. Do you understand that? Oh, and I have one more question to all you men out there. Okay? All you men that are objectifies women and everything else. Here's the thing. Get your balls back from your wife, put them in your sack where they belong, and stop whining. Because the only reason why you're saying it is because she's bitching about it. I tell you, I love women. I've had quite a few in my life, quite a few relationships. Not all of them are perfect, and not all of them are straight. But none relationship is. Okay? But women are beautiful. They have their selves. They have what they like. They have things they enjoy. Okay? And if you love them, then that's what you accept. Alright? But they need to also accept something else. You are the man that they met. You are the one that they love. And if they can't accept you playing a game because you want to play the damn thing, then guess what? They should find somebody else that they accept. Because I am tired of listening to every woman bitch about their man doing what he wants because, God forbid, it isn't what they want. Well, too bad. That's the whole point of being in a relationship. You didn't marry him to be you. And you didn't. You didn't marry him to be a clone of you. So when you start making him one, remember something. He's not. Or her. Because that goes for both relationships. Gay or straight. Or bisexual. You didn't make a clone of yourself. You didn't want a clone of yourself. Trust me. It's not why you got with him. Because I've been with some weird women, let me tell you. I'm jealous of the TV. I'm jealous of the Xbox. I'm jealous of the computer. You're cheating on me with them, this and that. Well, here's the thing. If you were okay with yourself and a little more confident, you wouldn't have to worry about that, would you? So there, all done. What are we doing today? We are working on Castle Morn. As you saw, I just grabbed the Twin Sword Talisman, which is up in that tower. So if you want it with the Twin Swords, that's what you'll probably need. I don't even know if it works for the Twin Sword Talisman, actually. It works for whatever it works for. We can read it in a minute. And we are off. Ooh, mousies. Oh, better grab that. I hate anything in this game that has to do with wood and standing on it and falling up on high places. Okay, we're good. Alright, now we're going to move over here. Now, if you're mage, this kind of helps out because you can kind of move over here and just shoot this down here. Try to pick one that doesn't move forward when you spell cast it, so that way you don't fall off whatever you're on. There's another rat. The rats will actually, and it's funny because if you watch them, they'll hide in that place where you can't get them. Oh shit, too late. Whoa! Being a caster, it's hard for you to... Rats are a little fast. Come here, chuck-a-block. Oh, come on! I hate that when they continually bite and stop your attack. Is there any more in here? Okay. Grab this and get out. That's where you get your first whip. And those things are way overpowered, to be honest. I'm serious, they are way overpowered. I think whips are way too overpowered in this game. Have you ever fought Hoslow in the Giant World? Yeah, they're way overpowered. Okay, now we're continuing on. If you want, which I don't recommend because if you're low level, this kind of sucks. See that big guy right there? Yeah, that big guy right there. This big honking dude right here. If you can get up behind him, which is hard to do. Come here, you. Die, dude. Stop with the freaking arrows. Okay, you get throwing daggers. Nothing major. But, you know, if you wanted them, that's how you do it. Another way is just to jump off the bridge. Like, if you're low level and you're afraid to get them, jump off the bridge. Run around. You won't die if you jump off. I don't think. I've never died from it, and I've had a pretty low health bar when I've done it. I could be wrong. You might stub your toe in a rock. Who knows? There is that. And if anybody's played Elden Ring, you know what I mean. You know you can stub your toe in a rock if something goes wrong. Okay, we finished his dialogue. He's good. Gotta make sure you finish his dialogue, because if you don't, you'll have to go back to him. Just summoning. Pop in. You can call your mimic with him, so that will help. You want to heal, because this dude's going to come right at you. Then roll out. Nope. Power of the suggestion! I wonder if I do Terra Magica. Yeah, he's gonna go down quick. Dude, he went down so fast. That was nutty. Yo, what's up? Thank you very much, Castellegger. And then we'll have to go back and talk to you in a minute. But first, we have to heal. Unfortunately, it's going to be like 3 or 4 bosses before you actually get enough to rise a level when you're at like 100 and something. See, it's like 92,000 and I'm at 120. Yeah. Oh, and if you want to reset, you can't reset until you kill Relania. Yeah. That was my worst fight in this whole thing. Besides the Godskin duo, was Relania and the Godskin duo with this mage. I don't get how he's so freaking bad at it. I'm gonna go over here. There's a stone over here. We're gonna get it, but we gotta watch out for the crab. Best thing to do is go right back here and grab it, and then kill these crabs, and then get stupid to stand still for 5 seconds and cook him with lava. Yeah, what did you think, huh? How did you think that was gonna go? I thought it was gonna go cooked crab. Right, it looked like it went cooked crab, didn't it? I really need some more mind. We're gonna get some more mind going here. I like the cooked crab. We're gonna cook some more crab. Anybody like seafood? We're gonna make some seafood crab. Yep. Want some? There's some seafood crab. I'm sorry, that was too fun. Okay, we gotta go back and see Jack Flash. So the best thing to do is what I do is I go right back to this door here because we gotta go see him. So we gotta go back up. Now I went around and did the claymore. This time I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna clean everything out on the way by. I think I'm gonna call my thing and we're just gonna kill everything. Call my mimic and go ballistic. Go ballistic. Yeah, I went with the Lou Stat staff. I tried to go with the Regal staff, but it ain't plus 10. So I kind of got to go without it. I mean, I can go straight carry at night, too, because I've got the build up for it. I was going to go with the carry at night to begin with, but I found that some other things were a little bit easier, to do. Like, we're going to go and we're going to grab... Why is everything dying? What the hell happened? Why am I getting runes? Alright, boys. Go over here and take out the 2 doggies first. We're going to pop one of these, just because I want to. We're going to pop a golden foulfoot. We're going to heal. I'm going to kill the 2 doggies first. Hey, doggy. Goes that doggy. Now we're going to go up here. And we're going to take out this one. That one. Oh, nope. That one up here. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Where's he going? He just took out a weapon somebody. He's like, yep. Well, here, fellas. Alright, did you get him? Just making sure you got him. Let me get this one over here. And that one over there. Yeah, that's another one. Don't forget the doggies. You gotta get them. Ah! Hey, I'm glad he was on a ball. At least you should have killed him. Dude, is it me or is he just not very good to that thing? Alright, now we gotta get a big guy over here. Hey, dude. You know taking a nap's a crime? It is in my world. I grab the smithing stone. I'm gonna whack this dude. Okay, now we're gonna go all the way back around and we're gonna kill everybody upstairs. Come on, mimic dude. Okay, what's over here that we didn't grab? Fire grease, nice. He's probably gonna disappear because I don't think he'll follow me all through here. No. We got the claymore back there, right? Yeah, we got that. Alright, what's down here? There's something down here, I think. Look in the corner. Nope. Alright, good. So we're gonna zip this guy first. Then we're gonna zip that guy first. Then that guy. And cha-cha! Da 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 da. Cha-cha! So yeah, you know, it's you're just gonna not ever stop sexuality or any of that when it comes to video games, because there's gonna be games where there is, and there's gonna be games where there isn't, because they know what sells. And to be honest, this Stellar Blade is either a Japanese, I believe it's a Japanese game, and I'll tell you right now, Japanese games won't get bought unless they're a little pervy. And that's the truth. And they'll be bought by them a lot faster and quicker than you think because they're sexy. And I'm not saying it's because they're, you know, uneducated, because I can tell you right now, Japanese people are more educated than you'll ever be. They start when they're like 3. There's a steel wire torch. They're doing algebra by the time they're 7. You know. And that's another thing. You all think that we're the only country in the world that is smart and bright, and no. It's a grave misconception. It's a very grave misconception. Because I can tell you something that a lot of you don't get. One, okay, are you ready for this? We aren't the only country that thought of trannies. Okay? 2, there's people out there that are hermaphrodites, right? Okay? And they were born that way, to have both body parts, right? And in other countries, they weren't surgically altered like they were here to make our parents happy. Right? And that's not because you're all like, oh, our parents made us this way. No. Don't blame your parents for that one. And I'll tell you why. That had nothing to do with parents as much as you think it does. Okay? Whether your parents were going to be embarrassed of what sex you were and all that crap that you keep filling everybody's head full. No. That was so you could get through school without getting freaking beat up or killed, or you know what I'm saying, or dastily picked on, so your brain would have been whacked the rest of your life. What they call emotional damage. Because back then, you would have been the class joke. You would have been the class clown. You would have been a lot of things. And now, you think it's even better? No, hell no. We gave you phones. So now everybody picks on it who's different. And even as a tranny, you ain't going to be treated any differently. You're still going to be treated and picked on as a kid. So you're basically sentencing these poor kids to a sentence of people picking on them. And yeah, well, there's bullying laws and there's bullshit. Bull fucking shit. And I will tell you that right now. My son was bullied all through fucking high school with phones and shit. And the school system didn't do a damn thing about it. Trust me, we had to move him out of schools because of it. And they didn't do shit about it. Jack shit. You think that's going to change overnight? Hell no. You're delusional. A lot of you are delusional. You think being this is going to make it all better. It's not. You need to have your head straight before you become something you don't know where the end's going to be. You know, and that's the whole thing. Okay, I've been in therapy for years. I know what it's like, and I know everything about it, the ins and outs. You understand? But I'm dealing with a condition that staggers from war and other things and childhood and everything you can think of. But you know what? I don't go out and blame everybody else for it. Because there's no sense to. Alright, so let's go see Arena. Now, I do this quest a lot, and a lot of people are like, well, why? I said I do it because of one reason, and I'll show you what that reason is. Here's the bridge, right? I do believe if you don't start this quest, okay, that it will have repercussions on the whole finger thing. Because I've actually not been able to see Arena at all because I haven't come here and done this. And if you don't see Arena, you can't give her the Shirabi eyes to, you know, become the new Shirabi, whatever. The, what do they call it? The Chaos Dude. The Flame? The Eternal Flame. Yeah, that's it. Because this is how it starts, to be honest. When you get to Stormvale, she's waiting for you on the outside, and she's not Arena, according to her. Okay, so that's done. Now we're gonna go the other way. Go back to this dude. Ugh. Yeah, a lot of things happen in the world, and things change, and people go through times in their lives and struggles, and you all think it needs to be washed away or use it as a friggin' crutch, and it's not. It's not going to change a damn thing. What changes is you accepting it, moving on from it, and getting over it. Or sometimes waiting to figure out where you're going to go in your life, for one. Because you may feel bad now about your issue, or what sex you are, or this or that. And then you may find out you're just being happy the way you are. Or you may need to change. Okay? But until you're right in the head and understand how you want to be, and, you know, jumping to conclusions and jumping back and forth between this, that, and the other thing isn't going to get you there. It's going to make you more confused than anything else. In the long run, you just got to find out what your happy place is and who you are. Like, are you going to be that jock, you know, that makes fun of everybody and does sports and everything, and then when he stretches his hamstring or breaks his Achilles tendon or, blows out his freaking knee, he's nobody anymore. He's an old man that runs a mechanic shop back in the friggin' hometown, because he never had the education or anything, because he was a sports guy and he was going to make it to the big leagues, and he never did. That little girl who's always in freaking pageants because her mother pushes her to be. Alright? And yes, you can blame that on your parents all you want. But here's the thing. At some point in your life, you can say no. At some point in your life, you realize your parents aren't perfect. You know what I mean? And yes, you can go to the authorities and tell them no because you're being abused by your mother. That's fine too. But there's also that situation you have to deal with and grow up around. And the poor me's, really, the poor me's got to stop. Because shit sometimes just happens and falls in your damn lap, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. You ain't going to change it. You ain't going to change how it happens. You ain't going to fix it. There's just nothing you can do about it. It's just the way it is. Because at some point in your life, you ran into somebody that you shouldn't have. I've done that too. And yes, there are weird, sick individuals out there. And there's always gonna be. Okay, so I could go over there that way, but I could go back up to the burn place and go that way. Or I could just run over here and get the churches. I think I'll go this way first. We'll go kill the tree, get the churches, get over here and go get the all the hermits and stuff down this way. Because we can always come back here later, because eventually I'm going to go to Stormvale and mess them up. But you're always going to have that. If you want to do videos on it, you want to do video gaming, you want to stream your video games, you want to have your opinion, you want to voice it, then go ahead. I don't care about that either. But that's called freedom of speech and everything we own here. But what I'm sick and tired of is everybody trying to change the world by doing it with our children and everything else. That's not your point. It's not your problem. Well, parents are unforgiving and parents are this and parents are that. You know what? If we blamed our parents for every goddamn thing in the world that we did wrong, then we'd be blaming them a long time. Own up to what you do. Own up to what you do. Because at some point you have to live with the consequences of whatever you do. Good, bad, or otherwise. And stop trying to convince others to take a path you decided to take because you were that individual. Or you were that person. Because you aren't that person. Every person is individual and every person is different. My son isn't me. He's my son. You know what I mean? So whatever he chooses in his life, which I tell him a lot, is something he should choose. Because it's his way of living. It's his choice. It's his destiny that he's going to pick and read or write. I'm not going to do it. I just got him to learn about the laws and other things that he probably shouldn't do. And even if he breaks those, there's nothing I can do to stop it. I mean, he's going to get arrested. But, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I hate skeletons because you gotta do this. You gotta double hit them all the time. So yeah, that's the big deal right there. I mean, I could be telling my life story. I could be doing this. In a couple of days, I have to find out some news about me. And maybe it will be good or bad. Maybe it won't. But either way, I'm going to stick around as long as I can. Because I've survived bullets, grenades, terrorists. You know what I mean? I've survived COVID. I've survived... What else haven't we survived? You know, I've survived 9/11. I've survived a lot of things in my life. And if I get the big C, then I guess I'll survive that too. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make that choice and sucker out and wimp out and call it early. We'll see. But I've never done it before, so I don't know how I'm going to start now. Now, see, it didn't do shit to him. Yeah, get the hell out of here. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Huh? What were you thinking, tree? But that's what I'm going to have to deal with. That's what I'm going to have to go through. Because I'll own up to it and deal with it. I'm not going to pussy out and blame everybody else. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. I can't figure out what my gender is. It's all their fault. Because it's not. There's a million ways to get the C. There's a million ways not to get the C. I smoked for 30 years. Maybe that's why I got it. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe it's just friggin' cyst or something. Oh, and that cis, that cis female and that cis male, you know what? Kiss my ass. And I'll tell you why. Because I ain't going to go around calling anybody anything except for what they are. That's by your frickin' name. And you'll find that pronoun thing will wear out real quick. Because people are going to get tired of calling you something to be different than everybody else in the damn room. Because that's all that is. That ain't nothing about your gender or anything else. Because I'll actually tell you why, okay, that I think all that crap is going to go and it's going to be a fad, and I'll tell you why. Because all through high school, I had two big teeth in the front. So you know what they call me for the next 20 some odd years when they saw him? Bucky, Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, let me go on. There's a lot of names you can be called. And here's the thing. Children did it. Okay? When we became adults, nobody cared as long as I worked hard. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, this is getting everybody at work to call you different because you are supposedly different than everybody else. And better than everybody else because that's your attitude. Oh, and what else? Jeez. What else is it? There's only one of me in my own little world that I'm stuck in. By the way. Right. Now walk up here. Hey, how you doing? How's things? Yep, not gonna get it off because that's why I hate the spell. Yeah, that did great. It took a quarter of her bar. It did absolutely diddly jack shit. I love that spell, I tell you. Jesus, this spell took a quarter of her bar off too. Yeah, she's going down. Should have done something special there some more. Alrighty. Now I'm not gonna go down and get the Vidian medallion, which is down below me in the tunnel, just because I'm not going to. I want to go beat the castle, and I'm getting ready to do that because I'm tired of not doing it. So we're gonna go up here and get this sword seal and whatever the shared tier, and then we're gonna head out. I'm gonna sneak around back so the ghost can't see us. Because yeah, I'm getting tired. I want to go get on Stormville Castle and start doing it. I like the castle. That and I want to go kick Margit's ass. Everybody loves kicking Margit's ass after you've got your butt kicked by him enough. The first time I played this game, Margit whooped my butt like 30 freaking times. I damn near quit. I really did. I thought I was gonna quit. I was almost done with it. He whooped my butt. Must have been at least 30 times. 30. And I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And my son comes in and says, Dad, you got to go around the city and head to the swamp. And I was like, all right. He says, you got to go here, 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 and here. And I said, all right. And he says, grab this talisman, that talisman, and this talisman. And he says, there you go. He says, you should be able to beat Margit now. I come back. I got the summons. I come back. I build my summons up. I got my weapons up. I got enough stones. Walked in. Slash, slash. Done. I was like, you son of a... I was so annoyed. So yeah, every now and then I like to go beat up Margit. But yeah, I mean, you got to live your life the way you want to live your life. Okay? But you really got to stop trying to get everybody else to live their life like you live your life. Because that's not going to work. Okay, the biggest problem with the human condition is they always think they have a foot in on telling somebody else. Like, you need to go to church. Okay? You need to get married. You need to do what your parents say. You need to do this. You need to do that. You don't. Because I've been out there in the real world, and let me tell you, some of those parents aren't the greatest. They are probably worse. They're more of a kid than you are. And I've seen that in my life. So yeah, I feel for you people that had those bad parents that hated your guts because you were different. But the thing is did you learn anything from them? Because apparently you didn't. Right? And I'm going to say this, and you're probably going to get mad at me, but it's going to be said, okay? Everybody who has parents, or they have a skewed view of how they're raised, will blame their parents. But to be honest, if you're blaming your parents, then you're just like them because they blame everybody else for you being raised wrong because they couldn't do it. Anytime, this is going to cause some issues, as long as somebody doesn't watch this video. Anytime you say I'm a bad mother and then whine and cry about it for days, you're not being a good mother. Do you understand? Because if you were a good parent, you wouldn't be screaming about how bad you were because you wouldn't give a shit. You get what I'm saying? It's that simple. You're not there for everybody else's image. You're there for your child's image. The way your child looks at you. Okay? Who gives a fuck what Tom or Jerry or frickin' Jill think of you? And that's the plain simple truth. Because they don't give a shit. They love to tell you how to live, but they sure the fuck won't live the way you live. But they'll love to tell you how to do it. And they love to fuck around with you doing it. I don't know how many people I've met at work that, oh, you should do this or you should do that. And you know what? They're full of fucking shit because they don't do that at all. They read it in some fucking magazine or saw it on the news or watched it on E! Entertainment Television or, you know what I mean? They don't give a fucking rat's ass about your life. Because when they get home, their life is just as shitty as your life. Because they're doing exactly what they told you to do, and they're doing the exact opposite of what they told you to do. So don't ever believe in somebody's advice, because that advice ain't going to get you anywhere. When I walked in to help myself get better, because I was worried about my problems coming across and rubbing off on my children while I raised them, you know what I mean? Was because I chose to do it. It wasn't because this one told me to do it or that one told me to do it. It's because I realized there was something wrong with me and it needed to be fixed. Or I needed to understand why I had it. Not to keep doing it. Do you get what I'm saying? And there weren't nobody in the world that gave me the best advice about any of it. And I wasn't sitting there going, oh, it's because of my condition that I'm like this. No. I have to give it up and do things every day to make sure I'm alright. To make sure my head's right. I'm doing good. Make sure my health's right. You know, blood pressure pills, that thing and that thing, you know. Seeing a doctor every 6 months, you know. Going to see a head shrinker every so many months. You know. I don't need anybody holding my hand doing it. Do I need to do it? Yes, because it makes me feel better. It makes my well-being better. Because yes, I have doubts. I have... What don't I have? I have everything everybody else has. I have every emotion in the world. Problem is I have a chemical imbalance that doesn't quite balance out my brain like everybody else's. So I have to do something to compensate for that issue. Okay? But it was my parents' fault. It was them. They fucked and made me and it broke me. Let me explain something to you. If there was a gene that didn't come out right because that gene decided that I didn't have enough balance in my brain, then that's what happened. It wasn't my parents screwing that did it. It was God that did it. So should I blame him too? Oh wait, no. I don't go to church, so I must blame him, right? That's it. Blaming everybody else and not realizing about yourself or learning about yourself any which way, it's not going to help anybody. Ever. Okay? These are things you have to learn over time. These are things, wisdom, experience, age. Whine about that too, you know. Well, you're always older than me, so you know more than me. No, that's not it either. That's another grave misconception you have. People they learn by doing. Okay? Or they learn by reading. Or they learn by studying. Or they learn by life happening. If you stay at home and don't go out much, you don't see a lot of life happening. If you go to school, you only learn what the kids tell you. Okay, the bullies and that and this and everything else. And yes, I will say that because that's your only perception of school, because when we were in school, it was everything. It was the world. It was how the world worked, and that's the only way it worked, and yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Then we grew up. We left school and found out not everything worked like school. You don't get promoted because you pick on the nerdy kid. You don't do good at a job and get promoted if you're too busy hanging out with the cool kids and brushing your hair and looking pretty. You know. That person doesn't get the job done if you're blowing smoke up their ass about how terrible they are at it. Just to make them feel good. You know. You getting where I'm coming from now? You kind of getting it? Oh, wait. Maybe you haven't got there yet. Or maybe you're trying to change the work so you can be the only person with a pronoun in your division. You know what I mean? Because, God forbid, they don't treat you right. Well, gee, I wonder why. You're probably the only one in the office acting like that. You ever noticed? Yeah. So you're an individual that stands out, right? I'm Mary Scotch, and my name is he, they, because I wear... Let me tell you, that phone you're building or that computer sitting in front of you or that telemarketer you're working on, they don't give a shit as long as you're doing your job. Do you understand? I know, I just bursted your whole damn bubble and broke your whole week out. Because they don't. When I call up and I want something done and I have to go through the business end or the community or get my car fixed or something, I don't want a mechanic worried about what he's wearing or how his nails look. You got me? I want a mechanic who knows what he's doing. Right? Just like when I was a mechanic, that's what they wanted. And you ain't going to change that by looking different or saying you're different or you're not. You're going to fix it because that's what you do. You know what I mean? And if that job's not for you, don't pick it. I always hear that. Oh, I'm stuck in a dead-end job, and I don't like anybody there, and poor me. And then guess what? You can always quit. You can always move on. You can always find another job. You can, what else? Can I go on? Because you can always make a choice that fixes your life or changes it. The only reason why you're there is because either the money's good or it's helping you support your family and 5 kids, right? Because that's the only reason why you're at a job. If you think that that job is the only way to be and the only life you have, then gravely misconception. You know, there was a guy once, okay, hated his job, hated his life, hated his wife, hated everything, right? And I asked him once, I said, why? And he's going on about how the kids are growing up and they're puking and shitting because they're in diapers and it's always a mess and it's always so hard to clean and this and that and the other thing. And I said, your wife stays home and takes care of the kids. How many times do you change them? Right? Oh, I changed one the other day. Okay, that was 5 days ago. Right? And I said, how is it hard for you when she's the one doing all the work? Right? And here you go. This is on that whole women's lib thing. All right? So for a week, he said, all right, I'll listen to you. I'll try it. Right? Because I said, why don't you try doing what she does? You know what I mean? Why don't you try it for a week? Okay? So when he went on vacation, he decided to take care of the kids. And, of course, he listened to me, which is usually odd. But, you know, the same thing with everybody listening to everybody and taking their advice. He did it for a whole week, taking care of the kids, changing diapers and everything else. Okay? By the time the week was up, he was more tired than when he went to work. Right? And I said, so, you had a long week of doing something you've never done before, and you're tired. More tired than you were at work. He goes, yeah. And I said, then how do you think she feels every day taking care of those kids all the time? Right? And I said, there's one. Two. Now, I'm sure she bitches about you and how you do things and how this doesn't work out and make her happy and everything else. But you know what? There's times where you will miss the day you raise that child, because when it's all grown up, you know, when that child's all grown up, you'll realize that you ain't that person anymore. They don't depend on you every minute. They're gone 24 hours a day. They're got their own lives, their own kids, and you realize that, what do? You know what I mean? Because when she gets that way, when she's a housewife, she's going to have to figure out what she's going to do in her life after those kids grow up. If that's all she's ever done. And if she works a job, and you both work a job, you know, there's always that too. Always, I kept hearing, well, I miss out on the kids, and you have to do everything with them, and you're always home, and I'm never home. And well, here's the thing. At some point in your life, if you're a workaholic, when do you stop to work? When do you take that minute to see what your kid's doing, or you go to school and see the kid at some event or something, and then they're like, well, you can't take the day off because God forbid we need this done. Well, here's the thing. If you don't take that day off to see that kid do that event, then you'll miss out on it, because it will not come around again. Because they'll grow up and they won't be in school anymore. They won't be doing those events anymore. And all that hubbub. And everybody's like, well, that's not very fair. Well, that's kind of life. Okay? But the thing is also, you shouldn't have listened to that company when they told you to stay home and not see your kid. Because it ain't going to kill them if you take 1 day off. Or 2 days off. Or 6 days out of the year. Because they give you vacation time just for that. And yes, okay, so I took my vacation time and I never got to spend it for myself. Well, then who's being a parent and who's not? Okay? Because I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this only once. After you have kids, you have no time for your fucking self. You better grow up and learn that. Because those kids are going to stop growing just for you to wait and take time for yourself. Never going to happen. Alright? It didn't happen to my mother. It didn't happen to my father. It won't happen for me. It didn't happen for my kids because they grew up. And all those little events I went to, because I either have time or took the fucking time to do it, you know what I mean? Then I got to spend that time with them. Alright? And if I didn't, then I didn't. Because I was working too damn hard. And every time that person, or you say, well, I'm a bad father, I'm a bad mother, because I didn't spend that time, alright, I only have one thing to say for you. If you didn't spend that time to spend time with your kid, then yeah, that's what happened. Suck it up, move on, get over it. Yeah, that goes for the kids too. Because every time they pull that card out to get a cookie or a pack of cigarettes or some shit, they need to move on and suck it up too. Because shit doesn't happen. Time moves on. And you can't be stuck in a moment for 20 freaking years for no other reason than just be stuck in the moment. Alright? How was it? One of my family members we found out was gay. Okay? She was happy about who she was. She loved what she was. And my uncle one day sat and went, what do I do? You know what I mean? And he must have done it. And all I could think of to tell him when I heard it was that you're still her father. You know what I mean? What does it change on what your child does for sexual orientation? What does it change on what your daughter does or your son does? Or changes who they are because they want to do something? It doesn't. You're still that kid's parent. You're still their go-to if you was good enough to be one. Because mind you, there are some parents out there that couldn't even tie their own damn shoes. And no, I ain't the greatest parent, trust me. I've done enough with my kids one way or another, good, bad, or otherwise. But the thing is you're still their father. You're still their mother. Okay? Even if they don't need you anymore and they're grown up, you're still their parent. Alright? All you can do is teach them how to start life and go from there. They have to learn the rest of the way. And if you don't point them in the right direction, or you don't do this, or you don't do that, then that kind of comes down on your shoulders, but it also comes down on theirs to figure out which way to go. You know, because I'm always tired of hearing, well, my mother never told me this. Okay? So your mother didn't tell you this. But here's the thing. Everything's listed in books. Did you not read on it? Did you not look it up? You know what I mean? When, how do I say this? When I have to fill out paperwork for whatever, you know, important business, taxes, that kind of stuff, right? Okay, at first, yes, my mother did it all for me, right? Because that's kind of what they do. They, you know, parents, mothers, they kind of do that stuff for you at first to get you started, okay? Then every year, you go back, take your taxes to your mother, stress her out because she's got to do her own taxes and your taxes. You know what I mean? And then you're like, well, I don't know how to do it. You didn't teach me. Well, yeah, she did. You sat right in front of her while she did them. You know what I mean? Why didn't you learn then? Because I don't want to hear my teacher didn't. I hate that when I hear, my mother didn't teach me. My father didn't teach me. My father didn't do that. That's not a fucking excuse, because that's exactly what it is. It's a fucking excuse. You ain't hurting nobody but yourself. Because eventually, someday, you're going to have to learn that. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because your father or mother ain't going to live forever. You know. And I'm not being morbid, but I'm just being honest. Okay, back in the day, and this happened to my aunt, my lovely aunt. I love my great aunt. Sweetest woman I ever met. When life threw her a nickel, okay, or a big old smack in the face, so to speak, my aunt found out one day she couldn't have children. Okay, and yeah, it hurt. I'm sure it did. I have no doubt about that. I'm sure she cried. I'm sure she went through a lot of feelings about not ever having a kid. Okay? And I've known women that have chose not to have children. One told me once, you know, my aunt, she always treated us kids like we were gold. She spoiled us rotten. She always bought us stuff that we really probably shouldn't have had or needed. But if we asked for it, she'd buy it. When our parents wouldn't. Okay? Now, I don't always agree on that, because a lot of the times when you do that, you're just spoiling the child. Okay? So Ani would do this, and then Ani would make Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything. She would go all out, and she would cook and clean and get everything prepared for the whole damn family, and we'd all have Christmas dinner, and, you know, and she always did it because she never got to have kids of her own to do it with them. Did we love her any different? No, we did not. We loved her just the same. Matter of fact, I think she would have probably been the best parent ever if she'd had children. But she never got that chance because God didn't deem it, or genetics didn't deem it. Do you understand? And she had to deal with that all her life. And a lot of people, well, that was very sad. It was very wrong. She didn't think so. She didn't. She spoiled us rotten. She sat and listened to us and helped us do homework when we were near or when we were around. She never got in the way of our parents helping us. She never took that away from them. Well, you know, I suppose the last nephew probably got a little more spoiled than the rest of us. But, you know, it is what it is. She wasn't perfect either. And towards the end of her life, she ran into the big sea and decided that she wanted to, you know, make other people feel better. Alright? She was married to her husband for 30 some odd years. Or, you know, before he passed. She never moved on to anybody else because it's the way she wanted to live. It's the way she chose to do it. And that was what she enjoyed. Okay? I can cite a lot of people I've met. Okay? And there was one person I met that didn't have children. And she looks me right in the face and she goes, because I enjoy me. And I kind of chuckled because, to be honest, I get that. You know, I get that because she either didn't because of this, she didn't because of that. But to be honest, she was upfront about it. I enjoy doing what I like to do. I enjoy not sharing my husband, my boyfriend. I enjoy being selfish, and that's what I want to be. And she just never wanted to share that time with children, okay? Now, it could be bullshit. She could just not be able to have kids. But I think it's more honestly her. It suits her. She's just that kind of person, okay? Does it mean she doesn't spoil kids when she sees them? No. She probably treats them really good. She probably spoils them rotten. Matter of fact, they always come and help her out because she has spoiled them rotten. She's a wonderful person. She's a good person for who she is and for her choices in life. She tries to do her best, like everybody else. And everybody's like, wow, look, you're not going to be perfect. I don't give a shit who you are. Okay? You're not going to be a god, so you can get that out of your head. Alright? You don't live in the fucking immortal plane or some shit. You are not the only woman in the world, or the only man, or the only tranny, or the only this, that, or the other thing. There's more out there like you. And last but not least, you might be a god in your own mind, but that's the only god you're ever going to be. And only in that mind. So there. Now that I've bursted all your bubbles, you prepared. Now you know this. But like I said, life is never going to fit us, always. It's never going to fit perfect. It's not always going to be the greatest, okay? But if you make do with what you feel is right and what you want to do, and live it to the best of your ability, then you're going to do that. Okay? And I know you've all heard me say, well, you're a wimp if you chicken out, you do this, you do that. Look, I've had friends that have ended their life prematurely. They've done this, they've done that. They've made choices in their life that make them not be here today. Okay? Does it make them any different? No. Does it make me hate them? No. Okay, because they made their choices in their life. Do I miss them? Yes. You're always going to miss the people that you liked or enjoyed, or your friends, or everybody who passes away or goes or moves on. And you're always going to miss them. You can do whatever you want, you can scream, you can bounce up and down, but you're always going to miss them. Those people that you enjoyed the most and lived and shared your life with. Just a couple years ago, I lost Tracy. One of my favorite subs. One of the best women I've ever met. One of the nicest women I've ever met. She had a way of dealing with people and meeting people and making them feel good about themselves, even though at times she probably didn't feel great about herself. She was a big girl. She was no skinny mini. And she was always happy. She treated everybody equally and everybody nicely. And a lot of times I was envious of that because I can't do that. I have a way of putting my fucking foot down when I've had enough. And she never did it. She never saw that. She just never did it. She always gave them the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes I thought she was a little blind and naive when it came to some things. But she is somebody that I will miss greatly. And always. Doesn't mean I don't love other people either. I've lost quite a few in my life. But I can't sit here, and I will not sit here, and blame everything on everybody else because of what choices they made or what they've done or how they wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's their choices they made, not mine. And that's the truth. Anybody who thinks otherwise is, sorely mistaken. You can't, and I will tell you this over my life, if somebody's going to do something to themselves, you know what I mean? All you can try is get them help. Hope they don't. And everything else. But there are some people out there that I don't give a shit what you do, they're going to do it. They're going to choose their own path. And that's the thing. You're going to choose your own path someday too. You're not going to... You're going to choose to stay alive. You're going to choose to live to be 100. You're going to choose whatever you choose. But I ain't going to change that. You know what I mean? No matter what I say here today is not going to change that. Well, it might. Well, it might. It might. You might need, a little influence, and you might need it, and you might take that advice. You might not. But I'm not going to. I'm not doing that anyways. How do I say this? Like I said earlier, you can't change the world to think like you do because you're the only person that thinks that way. Yeah, that doesn't work with anybody. I don't know where you get this idea. Okay? For years, I went to Hong Kong, and we went to a bar one day, and we were chilling, and a lot of pretty girls in there. A lot of pretty girls, right? So we thought. Okay? We find out that we're in what they call a tranny bar, or a transitional bar, or hermaphrodite bar is what they call them. Some of them, because they actually are. And we were all in there drinking and flirting with the girls and everything else. And then, of course, somebody found out, and they started freaking out. And the girls were laughing at us. And they were like, oh, man. No, they were laughing at us because we were American. And I asked, why? Why are you laughing at us because we're American? Because you don't know. And I said, okay, don't know what? She walked out front. She showed us where it said it on the sign. Of course, it was in Hong Kong or Asian or, one of their languages. And yes, I'm going to sound really stupid because I was. Because there is like 14 different dialects. There's Taiwanese, there's Japanese, there's Korean, there's Chinese, there's quite a lot of different languages in that area of the world. And Hong Kong is kind of a mix of all of it, right? So when a sign says one thing, it says it 4 times, okay? Because I'll tell you, and I'm going to tell you this once, and I'm going to say it even though I'm an American, we're friggin' ignorant. And we are. We think the world revolves around our ass when it doesn't. Oh boy, there's a big opener, isn't it? Like you're the only person, right, that transitioned and you're working for trans rights when, here's the deal, those rights are all over the world in different areas. And they're all treated one way or another. Some are good, some are bad. Okay? You think because you scream loud enough in America, you're going to change that. Nah. You better start learning how to talk international languages. Because that's the only way you're going to change it. And a lot of times they look at us as we're stupid and ignorant and children. Because we don't get out in the world and we only think of ourselves. So I hope I busted your American bubble, because that's what it is. It's your American bubble. Because in this country, there are people that protect you and make you free. Okay? There are people that go around the other worlds and fight conflicts to protect you. Right? But being out in that world is a hell of a bigger perception than you get at home in front of your streaming apparatus or your computer bitching about the way everybody else thinks. Because I'll tell you what, until you've been out there, you really don't have a clue. So I figured I'd burst that other bubble for you. When I say me, myself, and I, this is the mind down in Elden Ring. When I see me, myself, and I mean it. Because my name is my name. That's who I am. It's not any pronoun you stick to me or any crap you think you have to have me say. It's my name. And I was born with it, I was given it, and I earned it. So next time you see me on the street, if you know who I am, call me by my name. Because otherwise than that, I'm going to look at you and say, what are you, stupid? And yes, I will say it in public. I don't care. And there ain't no law going to tell me the otherwise, because that's a bunch of bullshit too. Because if I ever see a law like that, I'll tell you right to your face. I'm going to bend it, find me somebody, and find me. Because there's no need of it. It's another wasted law. And I'll tell you something about a wasted law. If you're out in the woods and there's an emergency, right? And the only thing you see is a horse to get back to civilization, and you've been stuck in the snow, and you're freezing to death, and you take that horse, say it's just, out there in somebody's barn, and you take it to get back to civilization, right? Then you're horse stealing. And if I remember right, there's still a law in this state where if you steal somebody's horse, they can freaking kill you. So, kiss my ass on a stupid law. But again, you gotta start choosing things for yourself, and you gotta stop thinking that everybody's gonna hand it to you. That's a good start. Because it will be better on the other end. Why? Well, think about it. If you don't like your job and you move on, and you look at Monster or whatever, the application place, and you find a job you like, and it pays more money, are you going to be happier? Oh, wait, and doing something you like, okay? What do you like? You like playing video games? You like streaming? Okay? Every streamer I know makes some money at it. Okay? Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But it's work. You have to put in the work. Every streamer I watch that's popular, they put in the work. It's just the way it is. And it's been that way for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And before you start that awoke rhetoric about how we're going to change it and we're going to sit home and collect money, no you're not. Not today and not ever. You're just not going to change it. You have to do something in this world to prove who you are. You have to earn what you get. You have to work at it. You have to, how do I say this? Be good at it. Ouch! Was near. That hurt. Ouch! Why does that have exploding arrows? Is that a good thing? I really shouldn't have went that way. I'm going to the castle. And you're not going to stop me. Not today, not ever. You. Now, get out of my damn way. So I guess I told them. It's like anything else. I see a lot of popular YouTubers. Okay, I see a lot of popular Twitch streamers. I even stream on Twitch and YouTube, right? That's another thing. Everybody will get you. This game sucks. Okay, this game sucks. It's terrible. It's the most unpopular game ever. Even though it won Game of the Year, right? You know. But it's terrible. You know, nobody should play it. God forbid. It's not very woke. It ain't got women's lib. It ain't got lesbians lib. It ain't got gay man's lib. It ain't got. Damn it! All the heck! It needs all this stuff. So let me ask you something. Something real simple. Does it need all that stuff to be fun? Does it? No, it doesn't. Oh my god, I bursted another bubble. I broke all of your opinions. Oh no! It's terrible. When I was away in sunnier places with lots of sand, lots of bullets, and lots of sweat and tears, okay, I was sitting, well, probably not with the sand that way. I was sitting in a country that was in turmoil, and they were literally trying to genocide each other. Or I should say religiouside each other. Because they had different views. And they hired us to go change their minds, right? The great UN peacekeeping force, so to speak. And we were going to bring peace to that country. We did. Because they saw the error of their ways after they killed thousands and thousands and tens and thousands of people and left their bodies all over the country. Okay? Did it change their opinions of each other? No. Not one freaking bit. Nope. Because till this day, there's probably still people that hate the other because they're Georgians or they're this or that. And that's the God's honest truth. They probably don't have tea with each other. But they realized that killing all those people and leaving their bodies all over the place was a bad decision. So they changed their minds on thinking that was the right way to do things. Okay? To this day that I know of, there are still families that hate the other family because of what kind of religion they are, or race they are, or because they have a different shade of skin. Okay? Racism only stops with the people that have the racism. Okay? And that things. They only stop because of that stuff. They don't stop because you scream it. They stop because that person changes their mind. And yes, sometimes you can influence their mind. Maybe you can change it. Maybe you can opinionate with them. Maybe you can do something special. Maybe you can give them money and they'll shut up about it for a while. Or maybe you can wave a lot of guns in their faces and tanks in their faces and say, you either stop or we're going to blow you up. That's your choice. That's what a peacekeeping force does. Sort of. They sit down and negotiate at tables and, you know, they decide on what you're going to do, right? Well, the whole world says don't do this. Does it stop them? No, because sometimes they still think the same way. And what I mean by that is, you go to the south of America, of this free country, right? And you'll find that the color of your skin changes the opinion of the person that talks to you. Okay? You'll find that what they wear changes the opinion of what you talk to. You go to the north, and your responsibility in what you do, okay, will give you that opinion. Okay? And then everywhere in America, if you have more money than this person or that person, it will change your opinion. Doesn't really care what color your skin is. Somebody will always have a different opinion of you than they started with. And the only thing that will change that is the way they view you, because you changed it. Okay? This is probably the only place you're going to get a glintstone staff, and for some reason this guy always drops it. You're just going to find that people are always going to have their views of what they think. You know, and whether they change it or not, or whether you change it or not, they're always going to have those views. I knew a guy who, treated women badly. Right? He thinks they're beneath him. Okay? Now, a lot of you think, well, the way you talk, you think the same way. No, I don't. What I think is that when a woman sits there and says, well, you don't respect me, you don't like me, you don't fantasize about me, you don't, what else can we go on? My purple hair, my pink hair, my this, that, the other thing. Did you ever think it's because you're not my type? Right? Did you ever think that? Do you ever think that it's because I see what I see in you and I don't like it? Okay? And if I don't, that doesn't mean Jeff's not going to. That doesn't mean Ray's not going to. That doesn't mean Thomas is not going to. That just means I'm not going to. Right? But of course, that means every man's an asshole. Well, I don't think so. That'd be like me saying that every woman's an asshole because she said no to me. You know what I mean? Maybe she just didn't like me. Maybe she just thought I was funky looking. Maybe she thought I was old. Maybe she thought I was wrinkly. Whatever reason why she said no was because she said no. That's the whole thing. She said no because whatever reason she thought to say no is why she said no. It's not because, well, this day and age, from what I've seen, it could be because you don't have enough money. But then again, if I say women are materialistic, I might as well say men are too. Because I keep seeing this video on YouTube that I laugh at. There's these two skinny women. God damn it, get off me! Alright. I gotta stop talking. Get over here and heal. Hey! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Get off of me! There's one thing Elden Ring does have down in this game, though, by the way. Hup! When they gang up on you good. Yeah, what do you think of that? Here, let me help you. Ho! Word for it now! You ain't getting back on that horse, bitch! Oh, maybe you are. Ouch, you son of a bitch. Look, Oh, this is bullshit. He's on the horse, so I gotta beat the horse up to get him back off the horse. Yeah, that's what I thought. Didn't know I had a wand in my other hand, did he? So like I said, you aren't going to know until you know what your life's about. Oh, wow. I didn't know they came this far. I didn't think they did. They're not supposed to. That's new. Alright, next. Hey, you just... Never mind. I'm having a discussion with these Gogers here, these giants that are hauling this thing, if you don't mind. Oh, come on. I wanted to stick it in his eyeball. I didn't know they went to the bridge. That's weird. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And you need this. Now, see, that's what happens when you ride up on me like that. I'm going to get what's in the back of this because I don't think I ever did. So now I need that weapon. So like I said, a lot of people, I just don't get you. I don't. Because when I first had something or got in a firefight, right? There's that mad minute, we call it, where you're afraid of life and death, right? And you're scared. You're froze. You know, and don't get me wrong, because I've seen women do the same. Because it's that moment in time where you're pretty much right there and you ain't got no choice in the matter. That you're going to live or you're going to die, right? And it depends on your training or what you've been taught or the thing in your hands that shoots bullets or so on and so forth. And everything in that moment is coming to a head and you have to make that choice. It's either kill or be killed, right? And you know it's wrong because your whole life you've been taught, you know, killing is wrong. Slapping women is bad. Slapping children is bad. What else? What else? There's a ton of shit you're taught. You need to be married. You can only be married to one woman. You can... all these things. And in that minute, you make that choice. Because you have to make that choice. Okay? You make that choice to shoot back. Right? Knowing damn well that everybody has told you all your life this is wrong to do it. But you do it, and you survive. You do it to save other people. You do it to fight for your country. You know what I mean? There's a million reasons why you do it. Then when you get out, you can't do it anymore. Right? You got to stop doing it. And it all boiled down to me one day when I was sitting there and I'm thinking, and at this point in time in my life, I have a little guy. He's just growing up. He's starting life. He's exploring everything. He's curious about everything. He's cute. He's cuddly. He's my boy. And my daughter. Yeah. I do love my daughter too, even though she may not think so. She and him are there, and one day he starts crying, and I just can't. I've lost it. My whole mind is like, ah! You know what I mean? I'm all angry. I'm upset. I can't figure out why, and nothing seems to be stopping me feeling this way because I got to be his dad, no matter what he does. Whether he cries, whether he craps himself, whether he pukes, whether he does this, whether he does that. And at this point in this stage in his life, he needs to be taken care of, right? Yeah, that's the most important thing. He needs to be taken care of. He needs to be protected. He needs to be raised. And all that stress is on your head, right? And all you want to do is just shut him up. You know, you just want him to stop crying. You just, whoa, you know what I mean? He's been crying for 6 friggin' days. He's cutting teeth. He's doing all these things. And he's so cute. So, you know you can't. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. But something in my head just keeps telling me that it's driving me insane. I can't stop it, right? And I realize that can't be right. It's got to be wrong. You know, there's something there that's telling me that he's gonna cry because he's a baby. And there's a reason why he's doing it. You know, he's cutting teeth, right? And I shouldn't feel this way because, you know, he's just, it's his way. He's growing up. You know, this is all part of his life is cutting teeth, right? And he's got to cut them because he's going to have teeth like I have teeth. Well, at the time I lost my teeth, but we'll get into that. But he's going to have teeth to eat, right? To chew on stuff. And I'm just losing it. Right out of my gourd. And I say, all right, there's got to be something wrong here. So when his mother gets home, I'm not going to say his names. When his mother gets home, right, I'm like, you got to take care of the kids. I got to go. Okay. I worked all day. I don't give a shit. I need to get out of this house, and I need to do it now. Right? So I split. I took off for the day. I took off, went and saw my mother and stuff like that. And I got... My head calmed down after a while. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's got to be something wrong. It's got to be something. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, well, maybe it's the military, maybe it's this, maybe that. And I'm going through everything in my life trying to look for the issue, right? And then it dawns on me. I used to stress out. I used to blow up. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to get a lot of pressure on my head, and then I'd just pop, right? I'd do something wrong, or I'd break something, or there's a million things, right, that I would do to get it off my head. And then I went, none of the other kids had to do that, you know, because a lot of my friends weren't like me. You know what I mean? Foul tarnished. Hold up a minute. We got to beat this guy, and then we'll get back to that conversation. You're damn right. I want to go into the castle, and you're in my way. Hurrah! You can call Rogers. You don't have to. If you got a mimic, you don't have to. When you're first starting out, I would call Rogers. Yeah, like your first level. If you're not very good at this game and you're just starting and learning it. Whoop. One, because Rogers will kick, he'll go right at him. Always keeps him occupied, right? But I'm going to try something just because I want to see if it works. Whoa, you just stay right there, buddy. I ain't fucking ready for you yet. Okay, now we're going to hit this puppy right here. Hoi! Nope, wrong button. Boom! Yeah, see, I don't like that spell. I really don't. It doesn't do much damage, but then again, it's the second playthrough, so I kind of get that. But he really didn't have a chance. He really didn't have a chance. So, with all this going on in my head, I realized that maybe there is something that doesn't fit. Maybe there's something different. Maybe I'm different. Maybe there's something. Okay? And my sister always went through problems and this and that. And she always used to say the same things, and I could never figure it out. And I always thought it was just her, so to speak. Then I found out what it was. I went to a therapist. I went to a few doctors, you know, and I kept telling them, look, I'm full of rage and I can't get it to stop. And I literally feel like I might hurt somebody if it doesn't stop. And you know, you just can't. It's there. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was after the military and it's after all this. And, you know, everybody sits there and goes, well, you're crazy. You're broke. You're fucking. You're just angry. You're just a bad kid. You know, your parents weren't good. No, no, fucking no. Okay. My mother had her faults. My father had his faults. We could go on for freaking days if we really wanted to. But none of it was for them. Ooh, I should kill him right now. The last time I killed him, it screwed up my game. Don't ever kill this guy. Just let him do what he's going to do, because you're going to need him later to do other quests. You can actually do all the quests if you want to finish them to get all the talismans and everything that come from them. So you can do all the quests. Okay? Don't kill this guy. You know. Don't kill this guy. Don't do anything like that. Alright, so you're good. He's going to take your money when you die. If you want to get it back, yes, you can kill him. A lot of people tell you to. Don't do it. Just leave it be. You'll get the runes back. Runes aren't a major thing. Okay, now I'm going to go out and down and around. I think I can do that, yeah. No. I'll end up coming back around, but that's alright, because there's a thing I want to grab down here. In your life, you're going to make choices. Good, bad, or otherwise. Okay, and they're not perfect. They're not great. Sometimes you're going to have to make those choices to make things better in your life. Because things aren't just working, or you feel you're broken, or you feel something's not going to fit. And yes, that may mean a transition. That may mean gender, figuring out who you are. Physically, sexually, any way you want to think of it. Okay? All that is things that you're going to have to figure out in your life. Now, you can't go that way, so where are we supposed to go? So you are getting what I'm saying, right? You have to figure this out on your own in your life. And sometimes, yes, you're going to have to get better. You're going to have to fix yourself. You're going to have to find an avenue that makes it easier for you. But here's the thing. The thing I've always found in a lot of things, and this is where you're going to... Well, if this up here isn't right, then this down here isn't going to be right. Okay, that's your first clue. Alright? If you feel you're ugly and not looking good and don't fit in and all these things, and you change your self-appearance, okay, right, and it doesn't make you feel any better, right, and you still feel the same way, then you just screwed up. You just made a fault. You made a default. Okay? Because at some point in your life, if you decide to go back or fix what you've done, right, it's already too late. Because some things can't be fixed. You can't cut stuff off somebody's body and expect it to grow back. Because some things don't grow back. You understand what I'm saying? So, you want to be goddamn sure that's what you want in life. Right? And that's the truth. Because when I got stable, the anger was gone. I didn't feel the anger for the first time. It was always there. It was building up. There was, I knew what right and wrong was. I knew what everything was. I was taught right. I was taught how to grow up. I was taught how to do things. I was taught how to pay bills. But there was always that underlying, I freaking want to burn the world, right? And somebody's like, that is fine. That's you trying to get used to your anger. That's have a drink. Smoke some pot. You'll feel better. What else? Play video games, build models, do this, do that. You know what? None of it. None of it fixed that anger. None of it. The anger never stopped. Not once. You know what I mean? Everything they told me to do, never once, not once. Alright? And I boxed. I did this. I did that. I fought. I basically would freaking damn near kill myself doing jobs just to get the anger to go away and get more money. Work harder. You know what I mean? And one day it dawned on me. I was sitting here and I took a medication after many years of failing at jobs and failing at life, failing at, marriages. I don't know, maybe failing my kids. I doubt it, but, I taught them the right and wrong. The rest is up to them. And all this. And, of course, therapy, and they had me on a pill, and it equaled my levels out, and gave me back that chemical that I didn't have. I was sitting there, and I was literally happy watching this TV show. And I mean happy. Like, to the point where happy was happy. You couldn't get any better. And at first I thought it was a manic moment. Because when you're chemically imbalanced, there's what they call a manic moment. And that's when you're really happy, but you're only happy. You can't be anything else. Stop it! Alright. Bad night. Alright. That was a very helpful condition there. It was the first helpful message I've seen all day. The other one says jump. So, I was sitting there and I actually felt happy. Like, to the point where happy was normal. It was easy. It wasn't too bad. I liked it. And that monster in the closet was gone. History. That whole anger. All that anger that was built up was gone. And I realized that the kid didn't do it. Pot didn't do it. Alcohol didn't do it. Sex didn't do it. I know, what a shame, right? There was no way to fix it except the way I had to fix it. Okay, and a lot of people sit there and go, well, it was in your mind, and you can get over it, and you know what? Fuck a lot of you. I've heard that, I've seen it, and it never worked. Not a fucking dime of it worked. Okay? And with feeling better and that anger gone, I make better choices in my life that makes my life better. Okay? Yeah, I still got a couple things up. This, that, the other thing. I might be a little overweight. I might be old. I might be this. I might be that. But then again, when you're fucking damn near 50, you kind of look that way. And, I sat there and thought one day, and I was like, I don't ever want to go back that way. I don't ever want to feel that way again. I don't want to ever have that anger in the back of my mind always. I don't ever want that for me. And then somebody's like, well, why? Well, because I don't. Why would you want that? Why would you want that back? I mean, seriously, why would you want that anger that nags at you all the freaking time, and you just want to lash out, and you want to strike at people, and you want to break stuff, and you want to... I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I don't want it anymore. I can't tell you why you don't want it, but I can tell you why I don't want it. I don't want it because of one simple reason. It gets in the way of everything else. It gets in the way of me loving my kids. It gets in the way of me loving other people. It gets in the way of a lot of things. And when I see people that transition or racist or this and that, I see that. I see that anger. I hate this person because of this, right? And I know you're not going to like this. I know you're not going to, because I know what it is, okay? Or I think I know what it is, okay? You can listen to my advice or you can't. That underlying anger was always there. through thick and thin, through every moment, from my child's birth, freaking my son's birth, to my daughter, getting her first dress, all that shit. You know what I mean? It was always there. It was always in the back of my mind, and it's always there. It can always come back. It can. It can come back faster than you blink. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make me who I am. And it doesn't have to be there. Okay? And by the way, that was Gostic that was laughing, by the way. It was him that locked the door. You can hear him walking out around. You can actually... I thought you could see him at one point. You used to be able to see him. And so I had sat down and I thought about it, and I have to take a pill for probably the rest of my life. You know. And I sat there and went, yeah, I can live with that. And it was like, but you wouldn't have to take it anymore. And you'd be fine. No. The grave misconception with every bipolar person, patient, anybody who has it, is you can fix yourself. Because that's what everybody around you tells you. Well, if I could, it would have went away. You think? It wouldn't have caused all those issues. I wouldn't have lost so many jobs. I wouldn't have... I wouldn't have got mad at people and lashed out and got me to lose that job. You know, and yeah, that was my fault. That was me. That was all in my head. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? I'd love to slap everybody that fucking says that. I really would. Because it was all in my head. I can live with it. I can deal with it. I can fix it. Right? Here's the thing. If there's something genetically or chemically wrong with you, you will not fix it no matter how fucking hard you try. It's like having a broken leg. You're not going to fix it if it's totally destroyed. You know what I mean? You can cross your legs, poke your eyes out. What else? You can laugh, joke. You can smoke as much pot as you want. You can drink every goddamn ale in the house. And it's not going to stop. Nope. It's never going to stop. It will always be there. Okay? And it's always going to be in my head, I guess. Because that's the way it's always going to be. Right? There ain't nobody who knows you more than, say, a doctor, a therapist. Because they go to school to learn everything about the human condition and the human body. You don't go to school to learn that. Joe at the mechanic shop doesn't go to school to learn that. Elizabeth with the big boobs and the titties and the ass that wants you to, you know, be hers and only hers and do exactly what she says, right? Doesn't want you getting better because it's too easy to manipulate you to keep you doing exactly what they want, right? Okay? Are you ready for this? People will take advantage of somebody like me to make themselves feel better. Okay? They will do it all the time. They will do it if you're married to them. They will do it if they're your children. They will, and no offense, my kid doesn't do that, which is good, because I kind of see through him. And I love him, but yeah, he's a kid. Kids have a way of wanting what they want, and they'll do anything to get it sometimes. And no offense, son, I know you and I love you, but you do, just like any other kid. I'm pretty sure you know that. We're on that wavelength. I love my daughter. I think the world of her at times. I know right now she probably doesn't like me because she has a thing with, you know, me. specifically, or men in general. I don't know. But, you know, sometimes I'm Steve and the next day I'm Dad. So we'll see how that goes. My ex-wife, her and I are friends, and that's the way it's going to stay if we are friends. There's been a lot of bad blood over the years. There's a reason why we fell out of love, and I'm not mad at her. I don't hate her. It's just some things I'm not going to do anymore because she thinks I should. You know what I mean? My boy is grown up, and my boy has to start living life like everybody else. And I know he doesn't like that, but it is what it is. Doesn't mean he can't come over and watch anime anytime he wants. But we are gone past the hour, and I think I'm going to stop right here and we're going to continue destroying this castle after you guys leave and I have something to eat. And I'm sorry I kind of went venti today instead of playing, but you've seen how I was doing. I like this mage build. It's not too bad now that it's got up into the hundreds. It's getting better, but it still is kind of crappy. But that's why I got the armor, so I don't take so many hits. That's the whole reason. But it does look kind of cool. I think it's the best representation of mage armor there is, I would say. I don't care for it much. I mean, but there's this and the glintstone carrying staff, and then the robes. And I don't like wearing robes. I don't care how good of a mage you are. If you get hit with robes on, you're going down. A lot of these monsters at a certain amount of New Game Plus can whack you in one shot. And if you're wearing robes, they'll just double whack you and that'll do it. Or they'll whack you once and that'll be all it takes. I don't roll very well like the rest of you, so, you know, I kind of have to be prepared to take a hit. But thank you for watching. It's been 2 hours and 10 minutes. I enjoyed it. I will be around more often. When I find out what's going on in my life, I'll decide if I'm going to keep streaming or not. But if I do, and I do get sick because I have to have treatments, then you might not see me that day. So I will be streaming and still keep trying and keep playing and enjoying myself and letting you guys, my whole 7 or 8 viewers, watch me enjoy it. And do have a good day and enjoy yourself and smile. You know, just smile.